Are the predominantly left-wing US media turning on President Joe Biden?
Well, Mark, thank you. It certainly seems so. CNN dedicating an entire segment to some of Joe Biden's most recent lies. You know, he talked about being there for 9/11 and looking at the rubble. That didn't happen. He was located somewhere totally different. Witnessing a bridge collapse in Pittsburgh in 2022. Didn't happen. Said his grandfather died just days before he was born at the same hospital. This is, these are documented things that anybody can look up. That's not true. A conversation with an Amtrak conductor who was already dead. Arrested during a civil rights protest. That never happened. Said he used to drive an 18-wheeler. Mark, it was a school bus. And he talked about visiting Pittsburgh synagogue, the site of a 2018 mass shooting. He didn't do that either. So you are seeing some of those Trump-hating outlets starting to look at one another going, did we endorse the wrong guy?
You have to wonder, don't you? There's pressure on Joe Biden, and politically he seems to be moving to the left. Let's take a look at this tweet, which went viral this week from the leader of the free world. It's time billionaires paid at least a 25% minimum tax. How's that story gone down in America, which, of course, is a country that hates taxation in every form?
I saw the greatest Dave Chappelle tweet or video that's circulating on social media, and somebody yells at Chappelle, "What are we going to do if Trump gets reelected?" And Chappelle says something to the effect of, "Well, I'll probably be taxed less." I mean, you're seeing these huge stars that have a platform say, what the Democrats are doing to us is robbing us. What you're doing is you're penalizing these people that have started small businesses and are trying to create jobs and opportunities for people. So it's not going over too well, Mark.
No. Does Biden make it to the next election? I don't mean, health issues, which, of course, are a concern. But politically, do you think that he can survive? Is there enough support for Biden within the US media and, more importantly, among Democrats? Look, we're going to just reconnect the line with Kinsey Schofield very shortly. But I feel that the tectonic plates are starting to shift and they are working against Joe Biden. Of course, Donald Trump is looking like an insuperable front runner for the Republican nomination. Kinsey, just asking you there whether Biden politically can actually make it to 2024.
Well, hey, Mark, I think looking at that CNN story, I do think that what you're seeing is perhaps the Democrats setting Joe up to fail so that they could slide in somebody else to replace him. It does feel interesting that all of the sudden, it's interesting that all of the sudden it's okay to be critical of this man who wasn't right for the job from the get-go. So it does feel like they're setting him up, especially with some of the Hunter Biden stuff, to slide in somebody else because they don't think he's strong enough.
Meanwhile, this week, Prince Harry's birthday, but a quiet celebration.
I think this is kind of a nothing burger, Mark. Hello Magazine recently said that the palace did confirm that they're no longer sending public birthday wishes to those who are not senior working members of the royal family. And as you know, Prince Harry certainly falls into that category. But a royal watcher did ask Prince William while he was at Sandringham if he'd forgotten Prince Harry's birthday. And Prince William sweetly replied, "It is his birthday today. You're absolutely right. It is. No, I've not forgotten." So who knows what happened behind the scenes, but I'm not necessarily bothered by them not wishing them happy birthdays online.
Meghan Markle got something she's not used to, a warm reception. She's in Germany for the Invictus Games, and her and Harry put on a loved-up display.
I don't necessarily, because I've had several people reach out to me and go, "You were wrong. See, they're in love. They're in love." Well, first of all, this woman is an actress. She's been an actress her entire life. So maybe she's better than what we witnessed in Suits. But I also think it's super important, Mark, that they really nurture the Invictus Games, because right now this is the only credible project that these two have. Everything else has failed. Podcasts, docu-series. So they have got to make sure that this works. They've got to nurture this incredible event because it's the only time that they get positive headlines.
Indeed, there were a couple of fashion reporters saying that Meghan is dressing in a way to make herself more friendly and approachable. Is that your interpretation?
Well, I'd say she needs to work a little bit harder because I don't necessarily think she looks very friendly or approachable, but maybe it's just because I know what goes on behind the scenes. I think, I loved how Kate Middleton would wear the Invictus Games polo. And that way she's not trying to steal the spotlight about, what designer she's wearing. She's saying, I'm here to support a great cause. And I'd like to see more of that from Meghan Markle.
Too right. Briefly, if you can, Kinsey, Prince William, the Prince of Wales, is on his way to America. Will people take note stateside of his arrival?
You bet. He's our favorite prince. He's the most handsome. We absolutely adore him. He's headed this way to announce the 15 finalists for this year's Earthshot Prize Awards. The one question that's off limits, Mark, is he's asked, according to reports, the Sunday Times says he's asked American outlets not to ask him about Prince Harry. I think that's a reasonable request because he's there, to shine the light on the Earthshot Prize.
Oh, well, listen, great to have you back on the show. We'll see you in a week's time. Do check out Kinsey's excellent podcast. It's called To Die For Daily. And of course, that's the name of her website as well.